Welcome to another episode of Chamber Chat, where Cindy and I get to tell some really fun stories of our past 61 years here at the Clear Lake Area Chamber. Not that we've been here for 61 years, but the Chamber, the Clear Lake Area Chamber of Commerce, has been here for 61 years.
Yes, please make that clear.
We started much, much younger. We were 5. So, yeah. Not 61 years at all. Today, we're super excited because we have a very special guest with us. Also, someone who has not been doing this for 61 years.
Almost.
Almost. Don't say that. Very close. Jim Christensen. He is the chairman of our annual intergalactic famous Christmas Boat Lane Parade. Happens every year, the second Saturday of December. This year, December 9th. We're super excited to have Jim here because Chamber Chat is all about talking about the chamber, what we're doing now, but a lot about what we've done in the past and telling stories. And we're super excited today because Jim has been part of the boat parade for so many years. He's got lots of good stories to share. So Jim, welcome.
Well, thank you very much for having me. Yes, I was just, as soon as you said that, I was thinking, boy, there's a lot of stories from the boat parade from many, many years. I don't even know how many years I've been actually doing this, but it's quite a few. I know I saw some awards and things like that from the mid-'80s, and so it's been at least that long that I've been associated with the parade. But it's always a lot of fun, and the reason I do it is because it's one of the coolest things in the Houston area, bar none. If you haven't ever seen it, you really need to try to make an effort to get on out and watch the boat parade.
And intergalactic, so probably, Martians and other folks are enjoying it as well, right?
In fact,
Not just Houston.
That's true. In fact, I remember there was actually a boat that entered that had a Martian on it one time.
It sure did.
Yeah.
It sure did.
A real Martian
Well,
Well-
he traveled quite a bit.
and a UFO.
Well, the Martian, you couldn't tell whether it was real or not, but it was
Oh.
pretty
He was
convincing.
pretty good
from the shore. We couldn't tell.
from the judge's stand.
That's right. Well, Jim, as you know, I don't think you were there. The boat parade started in 1961, a year before the chamber actually officially started. I believe the chamber was starting then, but there was 5 guys, very best friends, sitting at a bar. Of course, that sounds like the beginning of a joke, but it's really not, because it's still lasting today. Lakewood Yacht Club, all members of Lakewood Yacht Club, and they decided to decorate their boats and just float around the lake. And that was the very first boat parade, and it's grown to this intergalactic, event, at least worldwide event.
Absolutely. World
since
famous.
then, world famous.
Definitely world famous.
Exactly.
Right.
But you started as a boater,
I did.
and as an engineer,
I
you constructed some pretty fantastic looking boats, if I recall.
I think I had 2 boats, a sailboat and a powerboat. And in the first time I entered, I had a 25-foot sailboat. And I'd seen the parade a couple times, and then, I saw the entry form, and I thought, well, let's do that. And, of course, not knowing what to do your first year, you'd do the typicals, get on your sailboat, you'd take 2 or 3 strings of lights, and you hoist them up to your top of your mast and back down, and, make it upside down V.
And it looks beautiful.
And it always looks really nice. And so, I was proud of it, and we went out and had a great time on the boat. And the next day we always have the awards brunch, and I go to the awards brunch. And back then, well, if you don't know the awards brunch, but they actually show pictures of the winning boats. And back then it was, pre-digital, and so the pictures were actually all the old analog pictures where
We had them developed.
Mike
Scout
Mike
did 'em.
Scout.
Yeah.
Mike Scalf did those. He stood on top of the, I'm trying to think of the name of that restaurant now, the Jimmy
Jimmy
Walker's.
Walker's, yep.
And they let him get up on the very top, and he would take pictures, stay up all night, and do the pictures, and then he'd have them on poster boards out in the front for when the boaters came the next day. And you could buy
I forgot that.
You could buy
Yes, they did.
I still
Yeah,
remember
you could buy
that.
you could
copies of the
actually buy
pictures.
a print of your winning boat,
Who prints
or
pictures
your boat,
anymore?
and for I think it was $5, but that was always fun to get up there and try to find your boat, But
Well, we also didn't have a slideshow.
No.
there was no slideshow.
You had to
it was
describe your boat when
just-
you were the winner.
That's
You had to
right.
get up and describe their boat.
Well,
Right.
unfortunately, that first year I didn't even win an award, and I was kind of like bummed out. I thought,
Not even a
"Boy,
third place.
Not even a third place.
But how many awards did they give out in the 80s? Because I know from the 90s, but how many did they do in the 80s, you think?
I'm thinking they probably only gave no more than 30 awards, maybe 25 awards. But,
Right.
I wouldn't say I was devastated, but my heart was broke.
Maybe ego.
A little bit of ego, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But
Because there's none of that in boating.
Right.
so, none at all. But what happened was the next year, game's on. Then I'm going for Augusto. So the next year I used the same boat, but I made these little stars out of wood, and they were all hanging all over the thing, and I ended up, I think I won a second place that year, but I thought, wow,
Nice.
this is really cool, So I just continually did that, but then after you've won first, second, and third, you pretty much have to start going for the big awards.
Right.
And so each year you learn a lot because you see the winning top award boats, like Most Beautiful or Best Overall, or and then you think, well, you should be able to tweak this or do that, and so that's kind of where it headed towards. And then there was 2 or 3 or 4 years I think I got a little over the top, but 1 or 2 of them I guess are kind of still famous. Maybe the Flying Dove was one of them.
Very famous.
was
The Flying
awesome.
Dove was incredible.
awesome.
To watch it glide across the lake, the giant wings. You felt like it was literally flying. Like the wings were going up and down.
Yeah,
It was most incredible.
That
We were a
was-
little nervous because we were on another boat. So we thought, okay, do we pass them? Can we both pass on the channel at the same time?
Oh, see, I was
But
on
we-
land. You were on a boat.
I was on a boat. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the sponsor boat.
It was pretty big because the length of the boat was a 42-foot post fishing boat, and so what we did was use the outriggers as the main thing for the wings. And we started designing it maybe 4 or 5 months before Thanksgiving, and then developed our plan, how many lights, and then we actually had 3 or 4 people in like shifts working on the boat.
Wow.
It took 5 or 6 weeks to get that thing.
Oh,
put
wow.
together.
It was
It was so
incredible.
incredible.
How many lights do you think you used?
I tried to figure it out once, but I
A
don't-
lot?
It was a lot. And the other thing, nowadays, excuse me, I think
And that was before the internet, so you couldn't just go on and buy,
Right.
Well-
thousands of
A
lights.
lot of trips to the store.
or buy them before Thanksgiving.
you would have people like, if you knew somebody that lived in Katy, you'd have them go to the Walmart there and buy every blue light that they had, every white light, and then bring them down. But one of the differences now is with the lights, you have the LED lights which take no power at all. But back then, you had to really take into consideration the amount of wattage
draw.
and things like that were happening. So even on that 42-foot post, it had onboard generators, but we still had 2 extra generators, and we were still concerned that it wouldn't have enough power. But
Wow.
the things, that was a lot of fun.
That was a great boat. And
was
then
a
you've
great
had
boat.
some other big ones too that you won.
Yeah, I had an Angel one time.
Yeah.
The Angel was incredible.
Yeah, but same idea. I just got into where it's neat to have something moving on the boat rather than just and then looking back, some of the boats that I liked that were not my own boat, obviously, where we had. If I recall, we had a Ferris wheel one
We
time.
did.
That the Ferris wheel went around.
And it moved.
Yeah, it moved. It went around.
It was super cool. We had a jet.
We had a
A guy made a jet.
Yeah.
Remember, a guy made a tank.
Yeah, we had that. We had a huge Christmas tree that turned and synchronized with music.
Right.
That
Yeah, like
That was
Trans-Siberian
an
Orchestra.
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah,
Several
and the
years
train,
they did that.
That was the one that had the train going around it, I think.
Yep,
Like you had
I
the
think
tree
so.
and then the train went around. That was really cool. Now, you know some funny stories, though, right? From past boat parades. Some can be told, some can't. Just to
And I'll
preface
tell the
that.
ones that can be told.
Okay,
Or tell
good.
at least one that can be told. Now, this is actually about the time I came to work at the chamber. And so I was not on the boat. I just heard about it. And the former president of the chamber was Claudette Alderman, and her husband owned a hydroplane boat, and there were hydroplane races on Clear Lake at the time.
Right.
And he had a boat, a regular pleasure boat, and then he had this hydroplane boat. And so they decided to have, and it was Claudette's birthday, so that will come into play later. So they decided to mount a hydroplane boat on top of his boat and put Santa in it. And so their theme was the difference between men and boys is the price of their toys. And so, which was really cute. So they have Santa in there, and a gentleman that was quite a character in Clear Lake. Cal Leisure was his name. He was an awesome guy. And he dressed as Santa. He got in the hydroplane, and they pull out of South Shore Harbor Marina, and it's really windy. And the wind caught the hydroplane, and it rocked one way and rocked another way and rocked another way. And Cal, Santa, actually falls out of the boat into the water. And he's screaming and flailing, and then the hydroplane breaks off going the other way, and then the boat righted itself. Well, there's people below, and so the people below were screaming, and there was they were taking on water and all this stuff, and they had gotten Claudette a birthday cake, and there was and her favorite flower was bird of paradise, and so it was all this very colorful icing that was all over the parlor of the boat by the time the boat righted itself. In the meantime, Cal is in the water flailing and screaming, I'm gonna drown, and they're just screaming from the deck, just stand up, you're only in 3 foot of water, just stand up. Finally, somebody had to jump in the water and grab him and just put him on his feet, and he realized it came to his waist. But so that could have been really scary.
But that's a great story.
It was a great story. It was I laughed and laughed and laughed when I heard it, but I don't think Cal ever got on the boat again. Rode in the boat parade. But and there was no hard luck award at the time.
True. That would have been a great hard luck.
It would have been
a
great hard luck award. And what we used to have so many different places for people to watch. We had a committee spot. We had 2 boats for sponsors, and then we realized, those boaters could make charter boats could make a lot of money the night of boat parade. That's kind of not fair for them to do it for free for us. So we stopped doing that. But we were on a boat one night. The Texas Tease was the name of the boat. We had lots of fun. DJ, that was the sponsors loved it, of course. And a boat sank in the channel. Do you remember this? I don't think you were. I don't think you were involved in the committee at the time, but the generator was still going, and so you could see all the lights under the water as you floated by, and the boat parade was like, "Wow, this one's underneath us." So that would also have been a good hard luck award.
That would have been a good one. Our underwater dream.
Too,
Yep. So tell us about some of those hard luck awards.
Well, the very first hard luck award, if you've been watching or gone to any of the awards brunches, was 3 or 4 years ago with I call them the famous Cajuns out of Louisiana.
That wasn't the very first one.
Was it the very first one?
No, that wasn't the very first one. Time flies so fast, Jim. You've been part of the committee for a really long time. So probably like 10 years ago, we came up with the first hard luck award after that gentleman's boat caught fire. And stuff. But then the funniest, probably hard luck, was the Cajuns you're about to talk about.
Yeah, now that you brought that up, I remember that
Yes.
because the guy's boat had caught on fire.
Yeah.
But we decided to start the hard luck because of that.
Right.
But then I had to quickly put a few rules down because we asked the boaters to come to me or Sherry the next morning to talk about their hard luck. And then we tried to decide which boat would get the hard luck award. And of course, that very next year, everybody would be, well, I couldn't even leave the slip because, the lights wouldn't turn on, or we forgot the generator, or we didn't have any gas in the boat, or
Right.
the normal things that you would think that you would do before you were going to be in a parade. So I do announce that.
That's not hard luck.
at the-
That's just
yeah,
poor
at
planning.
the skipper meeting, I announced that, I'm not doing it if you go out there and you forgot to put the plug in the back and your water's coming in because, you forgot to do what you're supposed to do. So each year we've had different stories, and some of them are fairly good, but I guess 3 or 4 years ago, there was 3 or 4 gentlemen from Louisiana that brought their little P-row boat over from Louisiana to enter the parade, and they hands down got the award. When the guy started telling me the story about what had happened, it only took me about 5 minutes into the story to know that he was, 1, going to be the winner, but 2, I had to get this guy up on stage
To tell it?
to tell it because of his thick Cajun accent, which is
Right.
just incredible. But all of the things it could have probably been a movie, but it was one of those things where there was a series of events where they pulled the boat over to Clear Lake, and then they erected what they were kind of the whatever they were putting on their boat, but then they didn't look around them, so when they pulled away, it was taller than the tree limbs coming down, so it all fell onto the street. So they get in the street and they put all that back in the boat. They put something else together. It was one of those things where it just kept going like
Yes.
that, and then
It totally unraveled.
It-
Like
yeah,
it was probably 10 different things.
well, by the time this guy started telling the story to the people at the awards brunch, he probably had already had maybe 1 or 1.5 beers in the morning, right? And
Or more.
or more.
Or it didn't
I mean, he
stop
showed up
from
to the
night
skipper's
before.
meeting.
He never stopped.
Yeah.
He
you
came to
know.
the skipper's meeting Saturday morning with a beer can.
Oh,
morning.
I remember him.
Same guy in flip flops. So he
Yes.
was ready to go.
But it
Yeah.
was a hilarious story, and I kind of wish that we would have
Videoed.
videoed and taped that because it was-
Absolutely. I just remember standing up there on the stage. He's telling his story. I am looking at Mayor Kolupski and one of the other mayors,
Shaking laughing.
and laughing so hard I thought Mayor Kolupski was going to fall out of his chair. He was crying, laughing. I mean, it was a hard luck, and we're sorry for that. But oh my gosh,
But he had his moment in the sun.
it was so funny.
15
was,
minutes of fame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I don't think they've been back since.
No.
I kind of look
Would
for
you
them
trust?
every year.
Would you trust them?
Well, maybe not, but it'd be kind of fun to see them back.
It would, but it was just problem after problem after problem. I mean, it just didn't stop. Their issues that night.
And did they make that up because it was so perfectly made up?
It was-
I don't think you
they
could
even-
have though.
yeah, you can't make
They
that
actually
stuff
even
up.
had a dog with them, like a hunting dog. It was just like something out of a movie, but it was pretty great.
Well, it was, and the accent from Louisiana
Oh, yeah.
totally helped.
Yeah.
Like that Cajun accent just went. You went, okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Can you repeat that part?
Yeah, I believe that.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Moving away from the hard luck, when you first started talking about the original 5 guys that entered the parade, one of them was world famous as well, Red Adair.
Yes.
Right.
From this area.
Right.
And Red Adair.
We used to go on his boat.
Oh, I was
for-
never so lucky, but
We went out on his boat for to watch the parade
of
sometimes.
course the name of his boat
Wow.
is Red. So.
Well,
And
not
all of
that
his
one.
lights were red.
All of his lights.
Yeah, his lights were red.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And but one of the interesting things is that he entered his boat
Every year.
every year
Yeah.
up until
Yeah.
he got ill and passed, but which was really cool. But there was one year that we actually had Red Adair at the awards brunch, and he got up and talked about the thing, and I to this day I wish we would have had a video.
Oh, I know.
and would have
that.
been able
These
to-
things we
Yeah,
don't.
yeah,
we-
at the time.
But you don't
Agreed.
think about it, but he did. He got up and he talked about the first year
Yeah.
and how incredible it was, and he loved it.
Yeah.
He loved the parade, but he also loved the Clear Lake Area Chamber
Right.
so much. He was super supportive
Right.
of everything we did, but especially Boat Parade. And but now we have memorial awards for the folks who helped start the parade, and they're honored. And those awards are cherished, and the boaters, as Jim said, planning 6 months ahead of time, really do compete hard to win one of those awards. We appreciate the folks that started this, that kept it going for so many years. So we, I was going to say this at the awards brunch this year, that, you know, it's incredible to have something go for 62 years. But because of that, that's what happens, right? Some of the forefathers, some of the folks who started it aren't with us anymore. And so we try to keep their memories going. But it's a happy, sad kind of activity for us. We've lost incredible boaters. We call them old salts. Yeah. The boaters that have been in the parade for so many years, we call old salts. And, you know, we've lost some of them, and that's rough. But then fun, too, because we keep it going. So
yes, old salts, there's a number of them that have been doing the parade for many years. We always have a show of hands when we do the skippers meeting the morning of the parade, but we ask for those to stand up or raise their hand that have been in the parade for over 20 years, and there's quite a few. It's pretty amazing. But we love the first timers as well, because it's, you know, we try to have this parade not only for the people that are trying to win the big awards, but we also try to scale it. So if you're just a young family, have a 16-foot ski boat, and, you know, don't want to spend a lot of money, you can still decorate and get on the parade and have a great time as well, and probably end up winning an award. So,
well, because of our generous businesses in the community, we give out a lot of awards. Yeah. Sunday morning, there's a lot, and we have scaled it down very specifically. You have a category, right? You're a family boat or a sponsored boat, because we assume sponsored boats have more money to spend on their lights. Although some of these families, like you did, are spending, you know, thousands of dollars because they're doing thousands of lights as well. So we scale it down. We scale it down to whether they're a power boat, a sailboat. We have man-powered, of course, boats, people that row the parade. A gentleman used to bike pedal the parade in a Rudolph outfit for many, many years. Remember him? Yeah. Yeah. And then we scale it down by size, too. So we really try to make sure as many people can win something as possible. And that's because of our businesses who support the event. We have big sponsors, of course, that do it. A lot of our cities are a big part of that. And it's kind of like hands across the lake. You know, it's an event that everyone can be happy about it. Everyone can come together. We cover 9 cities down here, and so most of them are a big part of this parade. But then any kind of business can sponsor an award. They can present the award. Mm-hmm. They can get their name on the award for the boater. So it's a lot of fun. But we really do try to scale down. So had you started now, you probably would have won something that first year.
It would have been probably... the challenge would have been a lot better, because you could win a lot more awards as well, because also since then some of the cities, as example, as Nassau Bay has given out cash prizes.
Right.
And so you can walk away with $300 or $400 cash, top award, some other award, and you know that's a pretty nice day.
Right. So our major sponsors, City of Kemah gives out an award. City of Seabrook, same thing. City of Clear Lake Shores, same thing. Nassau Bay gives out several, because many of our boaters actually start in the Nassau Bay Lagoon, and that's where the cash prizes come in, which is they're excited about. And then City of Webster's back this year. They were a big sponsor years and years ago, and went in other directions, and they're back this year. And so we're really excited about that too. So they'll probably be giving out a city award too. So it's fun for the boaters. It's fun for the families. People wear costumes. People dance, right? We've had all kinds of businesses and people participate. I know one of the favorite boats of some folks one year was a bunch of guys. I forgot what it was called, but I think they were just like in little shorts or something. Some of the ladies really enjoyed that one. And then we've had some interesting businesses sponsor boats and have some interesting things happening. BJ used to do Elvis. Every year.
The salsa guys, remember the Texas salsa guys?
Oh, the salsa guys. Yeah, you can buy their salsa in the store.
That's good.
That's right. That was good stuff. And they always had the giant pepper, right? Those
Yep,
are the giant,
Pepper on the side of this
Yeah.
very small boat,
very small,
but that's okay.
very small boat.
Okay.
As the only male here, I have to say one of the other boats that went was Hooters. Was
Well,
always
oh,
on the
yeah.
Okay,
boat.
that
they
is true.
were.
So
They
that was
were.
a favorite boat. I forgot about that. Hooters
That was
did
a long time ago.
used to
Yes.
do a boat a long time ago, and that was a fave for. So we were happy when the fellas came around.
Right.
Oh, it was a boat. It was like a bunch of something college guys or something. They had
Yeah.
a theme, and it was a bunch of college guys. But you're right, Hooters.
Yeah,
did
one
their
year
boat.
they did the Rat Pack. Remember they
Yes.
did out of Vegas with Sammy Davis Jr. and
Yes.
and Dean Martin and all those guys.
Yes.
But then Chris, we can't forget Chris that rode the
Literally
you get to
25
ride-
years in a row.
Yes, in the parade. But one year it was so windy, really or foggy, windy and foggy. And he came over on the radio with Sherry and called her, and he said, "Abort, abort! I'm going to Opus." And so he did not. He just didn't, because we held the parade. We knew it wasn't
Right.
over until we saw Chris. And because he was only coming through once,
Right.
and so he just wanted to let us know, not doing it.
That's right. Yeah. So
uh-huh.
Chris Allen,
Yes, Chris Allen, that's right.
25 years, he rode it by himself, chest,
In a rowboat.
arms. I mean, gigantic, right?
Yeah,
Nicest guy in the world. But yeah, that was an incredible feat. We were always just worried between him rowing and then the gentleman who dressed up like Rudolph. He had the little pedal thing going, like a boat would hit them. They never did. But you were a boater. I'm not a boater, so I don't
Right.
even know how you can see out there.
they're
But
small.
that was
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, you have to walk in
We
the
have the rowing club that
Yep.
still does it.
They came
Meli
by.
Kaliki
Maka
Maka.
is the thing.
Maka. I
Meli
have to sing
Kaliki
it.
Maka.
You know, they always win an award, and if I don't sing it, I don't say it right.
Yeah.
So that's, I'm sorry for the audience, but I have to sing it.
It's Merry Christmas in Hawaiian.
There you go. But they row it, which is really cool, and they go fast.
They really do. Those
But it's
rowers
still
go
scary
fast.
to me, because there's a lot of big boats out there.
There is.
Yeah.
Right.
And all the lights are kind of blinding at
Right.
some points, I know. But and this is also a great economic driver for the area in a time where boating isn't that popular. You know, you don't have a lot of boats on the water in December or a cold night or whatever, but it really does kind of salute the industry, helps the industry. It helps with our restaurants, our hotels, our gas stations, all of the things. And so we will continue it. The year of Ike, the law enforcement came to us and said, please don't have this parade. It's, there's so much debris in the water. And we said, we have to do this parade for the community. And it was overwhelming support for the parade. I don't remember how many boats we had because so many people
44,
lost.
I think.
Okay. So many people lost boats. But we've said every year after the first 5, it's a parade because the first parade was 5 boats and we get those 5 boats and it's a parade.
That's right. That's
So
right.
we got it.
And I'm glad you said that. Local law enforcement does help out
Oh,
a
a
lot
lot.
with this. We have the U.S. Coast Guard, Texas Parks and Wildlife, all of our cities, the Galveston County Sheriff's Office, Harris County Sheriff's Office, so many different entities and their fire departments make this a safe night for everyone. Because if you go watch the parade, you're going to see hundreds of boats out there. Now, all of them aren't entered in the parade. Thank goodness. We would be in the brunch for a very long time Sunday morning. But there are so
the
many
parade.
spectator boats out there, many who are decorated too. So the law enforcement really helps us guide everybody, keep everyone safe. So it's a fun evening for all, for sure. But we have law enforcement on land, on the water. We have health folks just in case there was an emergency. We have ambulances on standby and things like that ready to go just in case. So we can't do it without them for sure. We appreciate the Host Hotel, South Shore Harbor Resort. They've done it for years and years, thank goodness.
Yes.
For us.
Absolutely.
But this year, we're always second Saturday of December. So December 9th is the parade. 6 p.m. is the start. Parade boats start Nassau Bay Lagoon. They go into Constellation Point in League City. They don't hit Seabrook, Clear Lake Shores, Kemah till about 7:30 or so. It's always a fun night. Kemah Boardwalk is a great place to watch the parade. Anywhere you can get on the water, towards the south side mostly. Clear Lake Park is a hard place to watch from. And just to end it with this, if you go to the Hilton Nassau Bay Hilton is kind of hard to watch, but if you were to go there, you're going to want to watch on the water side. We did
Why
have
is that, Sherry?
Well, we did have a lady call us following the parade one year. Jim loves this story. And for real, she was very upset. She purposely booked her room early at the Hilton to watch the parade. Her room faced NASA Road 1 back then, NASA Parkway now. It's not a land parade. She missed the whole thing. So be sure you're looking at the
Not
water
trailered
that night.
boats,
Right.
decorated,
Right.
driving down NASA Parkway.
Oh my gosh, she was very, very confused. So a lot
glad
of
you
fun.
cleared that up.
I know. Well, just in case, it's on the water. It really is a boat parade. Just in case, though, go to clearlakearea.com for more information about the parade, to watch it, to participate in it, to sponsor an award, to do anything you want to do with the parade. Clearlakearea.com's got all the information for you. Thanks, Jim.
Well, thanks
You
for
can
having
never,
me.
you retired from work, but you can never retire from the parade. We love you.
I've heard rumor of that.
Well,
So far, that's great.
As long as we're doing it, you have to
that's
do it.
right. And you have to continue to kick off the holiday season with the boat parade with us.
My wife
Absolutely.
keeps wanting to do that. But
It's excited.
anyway, for people that have never seen a lighted boat parade, I really encourage you to go and watch a lighted boat parade on the water, because it's just totally awesome. If there's 1,000 lights on the boat, there's 10,000 in the water. So it's just really worth your time to go see one if you never have. So
And if you can't make it out, I-45 Now actually videos live the parade. It broadcasts all over the world. You can do a People's Choice on there and help us pick a winner for the next day as part of the awards that we have. But go to our website, clearlakearea.com. There's a link on there, or I-45 Now. They'll have it live, so you can really watch the parade from anywhere. We'd love for you to be there. Thank you so much. Look for more Chamber Chat.
Thanks for being with us, Jim.
thank you. Thank you for
Appreciate
having
you.
me.
Chamber Chat.
Chamber Chat.
Chamber chat.